Welcome to Focus on Suppliers. I'm Leila Davidson.
And I'm Jarrett Davis. We have a fantastic show for you today because it really is about America and investing back in American jobs. A lot of great stories on today's show.
Yeah, really great stories. EcoVet, their story combines not only putting veterans back to work, but this whole sustainability partnership with Walmart. You can't get better than that.
We've got a fantastic visit from Exxel Outdoors as well. It's their second time on the show, and they're telling us about something wonderful that they did in a small community. How many times have you heard the story about a factory that closes down and it just devastates an entire community? Exxel Outdoors actually came in and they've put life back into this community because they've opened the factory back up. They're producing their products and put all these fine American workers back to work.
Yeah, talk about investing in the whole community through those jobs. I love it.
And we also get a visit from Reis Foods, who is investing back in jobs right here in America as well. It is a great show. Focus on Suppliers starts now.
Focus on Suppliers, brought to you by 8th and Walton, where suppliers learn fast and grow, and sponsored in part by Saatchi & Saatchi X, Case Stack, and other outstanding companies.
You know, when we talk about Made in America, it's not so much about the products as it is about bringing jobs and opportunity back home to the United States. And my next guest is here to tell us how his company is doing that. Dustin Maestri joins us now from Reis Foods. Great to have you here, Dustin.
Great to be here, Jared. Thank you.
I want to talk about this big announcement. Now, Reis Foods announced that they are investing $79 million into expansion in Florence, South Carolina. This is going to create a little over 700 jobs. Will you tell us some of the details about the expansion?
Sure. Yeah, the Reis expansion in South Carolina will consist of the addition of 3 new production lines, as well as additional warehouse and office space. We began with 2 employees, a father and his son. And upon completion of the expansion, we will employ over 4,300 people combined across our production facilities located in California, Texas, and South Carolina. And the expansion really speaks to the continued growth of our company. And we're growing because we continue to bring quality snack and breakfast solutions to the set at a great price. Not just in our core assortment of products you've seen on the shelves for years at Walmart, but also through innovation that's meaningful and truly resonates with the customer.
Well, I want to touch on that point for a minute because innovation is one of those words that many suppliers just kind of throw around. But meaningful innovation is very important to Reis Foods. Can you tell us about meaningful innovation?
Sure, yeah, meaningful innovation, it meets a need, it fills a white space within the segment of product the customer may not be able to purchase today. It can also drive excitement and draw those customers down an aisle into a category that they don't purchase in today, or even a store or a chain they don't purchase in today. So, we look for opportunities to expand our core into sets like the frozen breakfast set at Walmart, and we look for forms that aren't available. We look for products that provide quality, convenience, portability, out of the microwave.
Well, see, you bring up an interesting point about the expansion because Reis Foods has this core category, and now you're expanding into a category where there's a gap. So as you're looking at that gap, what do you see that customers are looking for in that frozen breakfast aisle?
We take our expertise within frozen Mexican, and we've expanded that into breakfast with new forms, and we bring quality, convenience, portability out of the microwave for the consumers to have.
Now, as we're talking about Made in America, why is that so important to Reis Foods?
Yeah, Reis Foods is really the American dream, and because of that, we place tremendous value on the importance of U.S. manufacturing and job creation. We take great pride in the communities we serve in and produce our product in every day across the U.S. Reis Foods began here in America, and we remain family-owned. And our chairman, Kim Reisbeck, is third-generation Reis family. And with her support, along with the leadership of our CEO, Rachel Cullen, we continue to embrace the commitment to quality American-made products.
All right. Well, Dustin, we appreciate having you here. Best of luck in the expansion. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Jarrett. Good to be here.
We hear a lot about Made in the USA programs, but the importance really goes far beyond the quality products. It is about bringing quality jobs back to the United States, and our next guest has had a direct impact on that. Tori Upham is joining us from Exxel Outdoors. Great to have you here, Tori.
Thank you very much.
I love the Exxel Outdoors story because it wasn't just that you created jobs here in the United States. Exxel really was able to breathe life into a community. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Sure. Exxel Outdoors was making sleeping bags actually in Mexico in the late 90s and had heard about a factory in Haleyville, Alabama that was slated to close. The workers had been told their jobs were going away, and Exxel came into Alabama, met the people originally with the intention of moving the machinery and the equipment to our factory in Mexico. But surprisingly and wonderfully met the employees, understood their skill set, understood the pride and the craftsmanship that they put into these products and making sleeping bags, and use that team to help automate, build the line out and the manufacturing process out in a way that helped us be the most automated sleeping bag factory in the world. At that time, there were about 42, 43 employees in Haleyville, and today we're proud and happy to say that we've doubled the workforce and are the largest sleeping bag factory in the world.
Wow.
And most automated.
Bring the jobs back to the United States and then just seeing it grow. That's got to be fantastic.
It's been a great story and one that I've been proud to be a part of, and I know our company and a lot of our consumers and retail partners believe in that Made in the USA is a winning model.
Now, having that model of Made in the USA, so you've got your factory here, your core base of customers is here. What are the advantages of having that factory right here in the United States?
Well, if you look at some of the traditional overseas sourcing models, lead times are a big portion of that. It can be anywhere from 120, 150, 180 days. Whereas with our ability to manufacture here in the United States, we can be a lot more responsive. We can be a lot more reactionary with our retail partners. So in some cases, a customer will order on a Monday, and we'll be able to respond, manufacture, and ship within a week. And what that does is traditionally, as I mentioned, there's lead time concerns, but there's also minimum order quantity question marks about, hey, I need to order a full container of this product, as opposed to with Exxel and our just-in-time ability, we can order parcels week after each other, as opposed to large chunks and have the retail partner hold those in inventory.
And kind of going back to that model, you've got competitors who are still doing things overseas. How does Exxel Outdoors really remain competitive, having that Made in the USA mentality and having your factory here in the U.S.?
The automation was a big part for us, and again, drawing on some of the skill set and our experience in making sleeping bags and the skill set in Alabama, we were able to develop the most automated factory there is. And what that means is, although we have high automation, we also need a large workforce to support and help us produce and manage and handle and transport those large quantities. So a lot of workers combined with highly automated process is a winning recipe for us.
So you've been there, you've seen the success. What advice now do you give another supplier who is thinking about bringing their factory and their workers back to the United States?
Fortunately for us, and I think it's a good model, is we were in the sleeping bag category, in the outdoor and camping category to start. So we understood the marketplace. We had some retail partners that were with us. Buying a factory in the U.S. and anticipating the model that was going to have a highly automated, high volume capacity led us to find a partner. Our first large partner in the sleeping bag category was Walmart. So we had category expertise. We had a retail partner, and then understanding what's your value proposition. Just in time we spoke about, certainly a very critical part of our value proposition, but we're also able to automate the factory and provide a really great value proposition from a price to benefit marketplace positioning, which is great for us and great for our retail partners.
That's a fantastic story. Thank you so much for sharing it with us, Tori. Please come back again.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Don't miss our new fun podcast, the 8th and Walton Conference Call.
Sam Walton once said, "Set high goals, encourage competition, and then keep score." With the surge of deep discount grocers and retailers, that's exactly what's happening. By 2020, Aldi plans to open 2,500 stores. Fellow German grocer Lidl has begun opening U.S. stores on the East Coast. What's allowing these stores to grow is their focus on affordable private label brands, which blur the line between value-based products and name brands. Their low operating costs let them offer these high-quality and often organic options at values shoppers can't afford to say no to. To gain share back from private label, brands need to focus on quality and distinctiveness. The score is being kept, and it's a close one. But in the long run, it will be those that deliver on experience and efficiency in every part of their business model that come out on top.
Are you a single parent with dreams of earning a degree or professional certification? Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas empowers families in Carroll, Madison, and Washington counties to become financially independent. A better, brighter future can be yours. Apply today at singleparentscholarshipfundnwa.org.
If you need answers and need them now, chat with us. Talk with our Retail Link experts online during business hours Monday through Friday. They'll quickly help you find what you need or point you in the right direction. Go to 8thandwalton.com/chat. We can help.
We're here with Hugh Jarrett. He is the founder of Jarrett Industries, but better known around town as the taco plate guy. Hugh, it's so great to have you here. You guys got your taco plate into Walmart as part of the Made in the USA open call, and since then you've expanded your product line. We all know the kind of the shopper-facing advantages of being made in the USA, but what are some of the advantages to you, the supplier?
The best story I would have is this past year we were able to add the Double Dipper to our Walmart business. And the Double Dipper is a bowl my wife came up with. So our mod fill was in the 1st of March. We had 90,000 Double Dippers that were about to ship in less than 10 days. And I'm in the movies on a Saturday afternoon with my wife and my in-laws. The manufacturing plant, which is in Prairie Grove, about 15 miles away, calls me at 3 on a Saturday. If that call comes in at 3 on a Saturday, I know something's wrong. So I answer the phone. They said, hey, we got a big time problem. All the labels are falling off the bowls. We have 90,000 bowls to fill in less than 10 days. So I call an Uber. I Uber home so that my wife and in-laws have a vehicle, get in my truck, drive out to Prairie Grove. So this is in February, so it's cold outside. All the labels are falling off. We have no idea what's going on. So we get a bunch of samples. We put labels. I leave them in the cold to see if the cold's making them fall off. We put labels. We run them in the microwave to see if the heat's making them fall off. We're trying to figure out, all Saturday afternoon what's going on. Finally get call my label people. The label people start asking me questions, and we start to hone in on the temperature of the bowls when we apply the labels. So Sunday, I'm back out to Polytech in Prairie Grove, and I have one of those little laser temperature guns. So I'm measuring the temperature of the bowls as they fall off the mold. We figure out they're too hot. So the bowls come out, we let them sit for a few minutes, apply the label, no problem. So by Sunday afternoon, we were pretty sure we had the issue addressed. So, basically what was getting ready to happen is Monday morning, I'm calling my buyer and saying, hey, we have a big time problem. Our mod fill might not go as said. That's a phone call you don't want to make. So because I have, a great manufacturer and I was able to get there, they're 15 miles away from me, we were able to figure out the label situation and avoid making the call to the buyer. And that's not possible if you're dealing with somebody overseas or really too far away in the United States. So that's an invaluable part of doing business with not only local people, but people here in the U.S.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's super important for a smaller startup business such as yourself that's newer into Walmart, but also for larger suppliers and the proximity and the relationships. What other benefits of being made in made in the USA do you see that would be applicable to a larger supplier?
Right. I mean, without the supplier being here and really working with us, we wouldn't be in operation. But we have been able to pick up business, not only from Walmart, but from, like say, Academy Sports, that when we are filling orders weekly, we are not only cutting out a ton of logistics issues for our customers, we're cutting out warehousing issues for our customers, forecasting issues for our customers, and we're able to provide a product on a weekly replenishment basis that really reduces the headache for the customer. And if you can figure out the price and you can get to the right price, being able to eliminate problems for your customer is invaluable.
That's so great. I'm so glad that working with U.S. manufacturers is actually good for business and good for the shoppers. So thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity.
EcoVet is a recycling company. We demo trailers, 53-foot cargo trailers, to build furniture, bases, frames, and then we use all different types of wood, but our number one wood is our truck wood that we take out of trailers. For the most part, it's oak. It has all of the character from the forklifts and the pallet jacks, and every once in a while you'll find some with paint spilt on it. We build furniture. That's what we do. In the process, there's multiple stages. At first, trailer's brought in, and we have a demo team that takes it apart. They start by cutting out the roof, and then they cut the walls. They flip the trailer over, they burn the bolts off of the wood drops to the ground. So if we've got somebody that wants a 16-foot conference table or a 24-foot conference table, we cut the boards to the length we want. We use every facet of that trailer as we're looking to build, either resell, recycle, or rebuild from it. This whole thing of recycling trailers and finding uses for them after they've been decommissioned was important to me, because most of the trailers across the United States that are retired goes through a shredder and it just goes to a landfill. When these guys take this stuff and they make something, it's a piece of art. It's a one of a kind. I mean, it's something that you can pass down to your grandkids because it's built to last. I don't think we really understand when you served in the military and you've come home how difficult it is. A lot of these guys could not work an 8-to-5 job and do what they do. They need to be out here and have a little bit of flexibility and be able to stay busy doing something. Every day they're building something different. Every day they're creating something that is new, and there's just a lot of pride in what they do. A lot of these guys are wanting to go back to school. I've got Stephen, who is doing online classes, and he's on the dean's list every semester. He's working toward one day being able to do something different. There's just story after story with these guys. They've all got their own story. They've all got unique talents. They're all good working with their hands, and you can teach them, and they pick up quick. In 90 days, they can build you a table, they can build you a dresser, they can build whatever you need with very little coaching, because they want to do a good job and they work hard. They learn fast. I hope to be able to grow this company to where these guys have opportunities far beyond what they're doing here today. Everything we make is from product right here in the United States, and most of it's reclaimed, and it's built by veterans.
Suppliers, get the latest retail news 24/7 at Walmart News Now.
K-Stack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, K-Stack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. K-Stack, retail logistics is what we do.
Halloween candy sales have grown every year for the past 5 years and are now $2 billion annually. Tapping into that growth requires a deep understanding of the Halloween shopper and their changing path to purchase. For more info, visit iriworldwide.com/insights.
Hall Estel Attorneys at Law. With 7 offices nationwide, including Northwest Arkansas, we are a full-service business law firm assisting clients with their corporate, employment, and real estate legal needs. For more information, visit hallestel.com.
Need help now with OTIF? The clock is ticking, and every minute you delay is costly. So contact 8th & Walton OTIF Help at 8th & Walton/OTIF now and learn what you need to know about On Time in Full. You'll learn how to navigate the OTIF scorecard, including its nooks and crannies. You'll find root cause insights, and you'll learn how to build a solid action plan. Don't wait another minute. Contact 8th & Walton today for help with On Time in Full.
Salary negotiations. Everyone's going to have to deal with this at some point in their career. And today we are lucky enough to have Denise Natishin. She is a senior partner with Cameron Smith and Associates. She's going to help us work through some of those tricky conversations. Right, Denise?
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. I would love to know, if you're just starting out in salary negotiations, what are a few things that you would love our viewers to know?
I think important things are to be prepared, to consider the point of view of the other person, and then also consider your personal brand as you're doing this. So in terms of preparation, I think you need to do your homework, know who you're talking to, have a salary range in mind. What do you bring to the table? In terms of the person that's sitting across from the table, know that they have a specific range that they have to work with. So help them to understand why they should hire you. What do you bring? How can you solve a problem? What's keeping them up at night, and how can you make that work better for them? So having that point of view of the other person and being realistic with it is also something that's really important. And last but not least, your personal brand. Know that everybody's unique. Negotiations, not one size fits all. So how do you bring what your personality is to the table?
Yeah, I love that advice because it kind of takes the focus off of ourselves and put you in the shoes of the other person and what they need to do their job. Makes it a little easier.
Absolutely.
We have that tricky question sometimes, which is, how much compensation do you require? And so do you have any advice on how to answer that question that doesn't kind of put you out of the running, but positions you well?
It's a difficult question when somebody hits you with it, so going back to being prepared is important. Deflect and defer as much as possible. That's my advice to everybody. Things that you could say are something like, if you know the salary range but you're not 100% sure, try and turn it around to the other person and say, I've heard great things about your company and the culture. I'm sure that you will have a competitive and fair offer for me if I'm the right person. By the way, what would that range be for somebody like myself? So you get an idea of where you're going with the salary compensation. Or if you just want to defer completely and just say something like, if I'm the right person for the position, I'm sure that we'll come up with something that's fair for both of us, and I'm willing to negotiate at that point.
I love that. I love that it's appealing to the person's higher goodness, and that you trust that it'll all work out in the end. That's great advice. And then the deferring, of course, is great advice. So in the total job interview process then, speaking of salary, what would be the right time to bring that up?
I think waiting until it's more imminent and you know that you're going to be getting an offer is closer to when you're going to want to start talking about salary. You don't want to start talking about salary, vacation time, all those things when you're in the process. Make sure they want to hire you, and then when they do, then you can start working with the salary.
Great, great. And then finally, I know that salary is very important, cash is important, but there are many other important pieces to a total compensation package. So what do you think are the most important things that we need to consider?
I think that's where you know where you are able to negotiate yourself. What's important to you as a person? So do you need flex time? Do you need to have more vacation time? Is tuition reimbursement something that's going to be important to you? Companies offer a lot in their packages, whether it's their 401k, whether it's their bonus structure. So know what you want to do, but there's a lot of different things that go into it. And so what might not look like a high base when you consider the entire package is very lucrative.
That's great. Great advice. Thank you so much. I know that you've probably made a lot of people very happy in our audience to learn these tricks today. So thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to the Heart of Business in Northwest Arkansas. I'm your host, Don Harris. One of the great things that's happening with the growth in Northwest Arkansas is we're starting to become a little bit of a healthcare hub. There's been a lot of growth in the health and wellness area. And today we got some friends from Mercy Foundation with us. We've got Nicole Crawford, who runs operations for the Mercy Foundation. We've got Tom Hauge, who's the board chair for the foundation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what is it about Mercy that makes them different than other providers? What's unique about the way they provide service to us?
Two things. For one, we're a nonprofit and we're faith-based. Our heritage starts way back in about 190 years ago with Catherine Macaulay in Dublin, Ireland. She really saw a need out in the community and wanted to help those less fortunate. Here our story in the United States came in Northwest Arkansas in the 50s when the Dominican Sisters started leading the healthcare right here in our hometown, and that transitioned to the Sisters of Mercy in the 90s, and it's become what it is today, where we are carrying on what we feel is a legacy of healthcare to the future.
You've made a big impression, especially in Rogers, where it looks like you're trying to respond to what's happening with the growth in our area. There's cranes all over the place, you're growing. Tom, tell us about what's happening to respond to the growth.
You got it. No, that's funny. I've heard recently that the crane is the region's bird. So anyway, great question again. I liken the growth and the way Mercy's approached it to really how suppliers and retailers have looked at categories or departments or segments within an aisle that are seeing some tremendous growth. They've looked into the data behind it to determine what is it that's driving the change. And a couple of years ago, Mercy invested resources, time to look at a number of data sources, external and internal, to really assess the overall landscape and identify some gaps from a services perspective and across geographies. As a result, they've developed a great plan that's helping us to close those gaps. We've got clinics going in all over the region, some awesome growth obviously happening at the hospital itself, and some new jobs are going to be brought on board here very soon as a result. So just some great things happening because of that growth.
So just like for-profit or nonprofit, you're growing and investing in this particular area because of how dynamic it is. And tell us how you get your volunteer support, your financial support. What is it that people do to support an operation like Mercy?
Being Mercy who we are, we really feel like it's a partnership with the community. We listen to their needs, we try to address those, we try to bring them along to advance the healthcare that's right here. And so we do have several different opportunities, whether that's volunteering, that's serving on one of our corporate council or one with a mission, and then also our events. And we've got a big one coming up here right in December. So December 2nd is our 24th annual charity ball. We're very excited to be around for that long and have such great community support to grow to where we are today. We will probably sell out close to 1,600 individuals and corporations that are coming on board to support healthcare advances right here.
That's awesome. Where's the event at? John Q. Hammond's?
Yeah, the event's at John Q. And again, as Nicole mentioned, it will sell out. It will sell out soon. So we'd love to have you join us.
Who are some of the main sponsors of that? Your title sponsors?
We're very grateful. Walmart Sam's Club and the Lee and Linda Scott family have come on once again to be our presenting sponsors. So we would love to have more individuals come and partner with us.
That's great. It's always a fun event. It typically sells out. It's a wonderful charity that provides great service to the community. So we'd invite you to get involved if that's something you'd feel like supporting. And we will see you next time on The Heart of Business in Northwest Arkansas.
Connect with us online. Follow 8th and Walton on Facebook. Need help now with OTIF? The clock is ticking and every minute you delay is costly. So contact 8th and Walton OTIF Help at 8th and Walton/OTIF now and learn what you need to know about On Time in Full. You'll learn how to navigate the OTIF scorecard, including its nooks and crannies. You'll find root cause insights, and you'll learn how to build a solid action plan. Don't wait another minute. Contact 8th and Walton today for help with On Time in Full.
Our guests enjoy staying at the 21C Museum Hotel and hosting dinner, meetings, and product launches there.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. This whole show has been about American jobs. I'm talking to Leela off camera, and as it turns out, our very first jobs, both of us got to eat all we wanted. Tell us about your first job.
Yeah, well, mine were strawberries. So my very first job, even before babysitting, I was 12 years old, went to work in the strawberry fields. That's what we could do in Washington State. They sent around school buses in the summertime, and you got to go pick strawberries all day. You could eat as many as you want. You got paid by the pound. So, you know, there was a trade-off on how much you wanted to eat.
So my first job, I'm 14 years old, and a new restaurant opened up walking distance of my home. So I went down and got a job as a busboy / waiter. I never ate any food off of the customers' plates or anything they ordered, but it was neat just to be able to eat there for free. When there was a buffet, you could take a plate back there. There were French fries, so you could have a little plate of ketchup by the fry machine and just take all that you wanted to.
Making me really hungry right now.
All right, we're gonna go grab a bite to eat. We'll see you next time.